This is the Frederick Wilson Taylor's scientific management theory. So what Taylor has done the contribution in principle of management. We'll see about his achievements. He was born in 1856 and died in 1950, and he made his career in the mechanist. He was an engineer, actually called a chief engineer, and his observation and experiment was to think from the scientific way. And Taylor's approach was defined as a management, and he was also known as the father of scientific management, Frederick Wilson Taylor. And he has also written some of the information about his management in theory. So let us discuss some more information about him. We'll see principles of scientific management. So there are some principles. He's written by the Taylor, Frederick Taylor. This definition is also important for the exam, so you have to learn this Frederick Taylor definition. So first we will see science, not rule of thumb. In order to increase organization efficiency, the rule of thumb method should be substituted with the method developed through scientific analysis of work. Rule of thumb decisions are based on personal judgment of the manager. Taylor insisted upon method for every small work. This principle is concerned with the selecting based of performing a job or scientific analysis of the job, and not by trial and not error method. Standard required time and standard output should be defined by the manager. This will help in saving time and human energy and will result into expected output according to a Taylor. Even a small productivity activity like loading iron, steel and into box car can be scientifically planned. So what he was thinking, his thinking was, when you're working in the company, the judgment is taken by the manager. The manager will play a very important role of science, and he will show that whatever the work is done by the subordinates, that will be utilized by the person or by the analysis of the subordinates. So thumb is not an important. Science doesn't play any important role in the organization. It plays by the manager who makes the work in the organization. Harmony, not discord. According to this principle, there should be harmony between the employee and management. This coordination will help in minimizing the conflicts between them. So there should be harmony. There should be respect between the employees and the management to work in the organization. Perfect understanding between employees and management will help be useful in creating healthy work environment. So when you're working in one company, the management and employees should have a good and healthy relationship to get the maximum work done in the company, and there should be harmony. Peace of respect should be there in the company. Third is mental revolution. Mental revolution means it is the attitude of employees and management, how they are behaving each other in the company. If there's some disputes in the company, they have to peacefully understand the situation and they have to cooperate with the company. Why? Because when they will cooperate with the company, then only the productivity of company will take a place. The mental revolution plays a very important role. So both management and employees have to work for the profit of the company, then only they will increase the productivity. So mental revolution is also an important part of the theory of Taylor. Next is cooperation and not individualism. Cooperation means when you're working, you are having mutual cooperation between employees and the management. You should have a trust. You should have a team spirit in the management. When you're having team spirit, you are working for the company and not for the individualism. You are working for the company, not for your personal things. When you're working in the company, you should have some respect to the company. There should be no hesitate, and there should be no gossiping behind the of your organization. So at the same time, the employee should be treated as an integral part of the organization. So the employee should also be counted as a part of the company, and they should also get the respect from the company. At the same time, employees should resist themselves from going on strike and making unnecessary demands from management. If the company is not making any profit, the employee should not go on a strike and demand unnecessary from the management, because they have to understand from the perspective of management. Division of responsibility. Proper division of work should always be accompanied with division of responsibilities between the manager and the employee. So the work should be divided between the employees and the manager of different sector, which I have explained in the Henry Fayol's principle of management. So it is the same as compared to the definition of Henry. Major planning is done by the top and middle level managers. So the planning of the productivity is done by the middle level and the top level management, where the execution is taking place. The reporting is done at the instruction given by the superior. So whatever the reporting is done, they are given by the superior. So there are top level management who are giving work to the employees. So that is also the responsibility of the top management. So that is called division of responsibility. Next is development of employer and employees for greater efficiency and maximum prosperity. So there should be a good performance of organization, and when it will happen, when the employees and employer will come together and they will work for the greater efficiency apart from the company, then only they will have a good opportunity to get the company at the top position. So in employee and employer plays a very important role for the organization of business to get a development in the company. Now there are techniques of scientific management. Let us see. Work study. Before your work is given to you, or by the management is given some work to you, you have to work hard for the study. You have to take the information, you have to learn, you have to see that what are the work is given to you, that should have a systematic and the critical assessment, then only you will apply for that works. So work studies is based on the techniques such as time study, motion study, method study and fatigue study. These are the 4 techniques that you have to use while for the study of your work is getting from that organization. First, let us see time study. It is a technique of observing and recording the time taken by an employee to complete given task. So whatever the task is given to you, you have to complete in time. With the help of time study, the process time required for each element of work is determined. So you have to precise your time. Whatever the time is required to complete the work, that should be determined from the organization. It is a technique used for fixing the standard time required to a particular task under given condition. It is useful to ensure the efficiency of an employee to control the cost of work. Next is method study. There are always various methods of completing for best quality and cost effectiveness. Identifying the best method of doing a particular job is very important but challenging task for a manager. So manager is giving a task to a subordinate, and that is a difficult or that is a challenging task given by the organization. It helps in reducing the wastage of time, means the time is not wastage, raw material, and in improving the utility of all resources as per predefined objective. So whatever the material is used for the resources, that we can use in the company as a predefined objectives. Next is motion study. The study of required motion means movement of an employee. So it is a movement of an employee. We can study in motion study. Machines while completing a particular task is very important. It is useful in eliminating unnecessary motion and finding the best method of doing a particular job. So whatever the work is given, that work has to be defined in a best method to get the job done. And we should not have some unnecessary motion from the company side. Motion technique is used to know whether some elements of a job can be eliminated or the sequence can be changed for both flow of task. So it is a technique of machine, that machine should work in a motion movement of an employee, and there should be a technique to how the work should be done from the employee. Fatigue study. Generally, long working hours without sufficient breaks, target pressures, heavy working tool and poor working conditions result in physical and mental stress. Fatigue has to adverse effect on the health and efficiency of the employee. The study of fatigue and steps to reduce themselves. Fatigue is very important to maintain the operational efficiency of an employee. Fatigue means if the working condition of the employee is not good and they are having some problems. So the company has to see the fatigue study. We have to see the person who are in critical situation or critical condition that they cannot work for the company. So this is an fatigue study. So we have to see, we have to give them some, we should not give them a pressurize for them to do the complete work. Second is standardization of tools and equipment. So what are the tools and equipments we are using in the company as per the Taylor's written in the theory of management. Scientific task setting. Taylor emphasized the need for fixing a fair day work. So there should be a fixing for working in a day, whatever the hour is given to you. Scientific work setting is important to prevent the employee for doing such below their capacity. Means the employee, if given is 7 hours in the company to work, they should work for the 7 hours, not apart from that. If they are working for the overtime, they should give some incentive for the completing of over hours. Scientific selection and training. So when you are working in a company and you become a HR, human resources development, you should select the person who is having the caliber to do that a specific job. Then only the selection and training of that person will fix a job in the company. And we have to see the requirement. Okay, what are the requirement we need from the company? Take the example of school. You're working in a school. If the SST teacher is required, then the SST teacher's requirement is there. So the scientific selection should be there in the company. Now we'll see functional organization. Now what are the functions of Taylor's has defined? We'll see. At planning level means there should be some planning level, right? Root clerk tells how moves from one machine to another machine, that how we should move from one, when you're working in one machine, how you have to go to another machine. That is, planning has to be done. Instruction has to give that how much time you should get to complete the work done. Time and cost clerk determines time in which should be completed and work out the cost. So we have to see the work, that how much time we require to complete the work, and it will depend the cost. Discipline ensure the workers who are working per factory rules. So discipline of the workers also taking care. Discipline we have to see from the workers point of view. At implementation level means how the workers are implementing their work. Gang boss actually get the work done, speed boss, repair boss, inspector. So these are the person, or these are the people who are taking the maintenance of mechanism and their work done by the people who are working in the company. And this was done by the Taylor with the help of division of all activities. Differential piece rate wages plan. So it means when you're working in the company, we should give them a wages. We should give them a salary for working in the company, and whatever the output is done by the employees, the employee has to give them a remuneration in the place of wage. Higher rates are offered to employee who complete the work more than the standard quantity. Means if the work is given to the employee in a time, if they complete that work, so we have to give them some initiative in the form of higher rates. On the other hand, if an employee is performing below the standard, he shall be lower rate of wages. So if he is not performing up to the mark to the company, then he will be getting a lower rate of wages. This technique motivated employees to attain higher standard performance and earn wages. So because of this, the working of the employees increases, and the standard of performance is also increases to earn the wages in the form of remuneration at a higher rate. So this was the explanation of Taylor theory of management. Next we will see the functions of management. Thank you for watching the video.